Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. That young man is very good looking and bears a resemblance to me. It's my 21-year-old son, Mike, and that's his first permit. It was a nice permit as well from the Florida Keys out in the Gulf Stream. Do you know what, looking back at some of these old vintage films, I actually realise it's probably more than 21 years since I caught my first permit. I've got some footage of it here. They're fantastic fighting fish, a light tackle supremo. Take a look at this. And take a look at the sunshine, or take a look at everything. Well, let's get straight in on the action, guys. Down at Bud and Mary's Marina in the Florida Keys, you have got boats, and more boats. You've got flats boats, you've got big game boats, you've got pretty well anything you could want to fish with, and they do catch pretty well any fish, swim in the ocean. They've got them all out there. Down in the tackle shop, you've got all the bait you want, you've got accommodation there. I mean, surely it's heaven indeed. I got an invite to go for an afternoon's permit fishing on the How About It with Skip Nielsen, who used to do skipping on a big boat there, and I think the crewman's name was, I think it was Jay. This is a vintage footage, guys, and it's very, very old and crinkly, a bit like me now actually, but nevertheless it'll give you an insight into midday permit fishing, which is what they do is they go out way in the edge of the Gulf Stream, just where it sort of drops away outside Alligator Light, and they've got a wreck buoyed off there, and over this wreck, anytime from the springtime to early summer, the permit go out there to spawn from the backcountry. Now permit are an incredibly hard fighting fish, and they are, well, really probably the hardest fighting fish in shallow water, but they're a species of jack, and you know, once you get a hard fighting species that's linked to the jack family, you're in for a dogged fight. They fight pretty hard out there as well, out in the deep water. Now what we're going to be using are these blue claw crabs with the crabs being removed. That's how you buy them from the tackle shop. And they've got these little paddles on the back, little legs that they paddle with. And you're going to use those, just dip them out the live well, check which are the good ones, and then hook them up. And that is possibly the best permit bait you can ever want, but they've got to be live. Now I have caught permit on live pinfish while I've been tarpon fishing in the backcountry, but you know, if you're going out permit fishing, you've got to take the crabs with you. What Jay's doing now is they caught fish the day before and he's running the line back in the wake, and he's going to wind it back on to take the twist down the line. Generally get twists when people are turning the handle and the spool's turning at the same time. They don't know to pull back. Generally, you know, tourist fishing is they're going to pull back, the spool revolves, and they just keep cranking and cranking, thinking they're putting line on the reel, and all they're putting on the reel is twists. So he's going to run that line out, spool it back in, and pulling it through the wake like that with absolutely nothing on it will take those twists out of the line. So a good way of actually, you know, keeping some fish in line. And then what you're going to do is you're going to tie a small double line in here, just in case the permits edge of their rough mouth there, they don't have teeth as such, at the edge of their rough mouth, they have a little bit of double line, short to chew on, and if one piece pops, then you're still going to get, hopefully, the fish, the permit, on the other side of the double line. And don't put hooks in your mouth. Normally, kids, it's not the way to do it, but he just puts a split in the loop, then he can get that through the eye, and he's going to tie a knot on there, hopefully that doesn't slip, because the permit is an almighty scrapper. As I say, being linked to the jack family, remember the jack family is really, really hard scrapper, and his dog is going to go straight back down. It's going to crash dive, it's going to try and get you snag straight into the rock. If you catch them over reef, rock, wreck, they're going to crash dive. They do the best they can to get down, you know, cut you off on anything they can. With me is a friend Adrian, and we're just filming on a regular old handy cam and doing the best we can. Now you see he's going to work the hook through just on the edge of the shell. He's just going to work a tiny little hole there, twisting the hook, just rocking it backwards and forwards until it pops through there, and when it pops through it just hangs in the bend. And another way they do it here is just putting the rods and the live crab in a bucket, so each angler is in the corner ready to cast immediately, and the skipper's up on the flying bridge way up about 20-25 feet up in the air, and he can see down through the water with his polarizing glasses, and he will spot the permit tell you where to cast, when to cast, and very often when to strike. I mean, down when we were on the deck, on the cockpit, you can't really see the permit. Occasionally you can, but you're relying totally on being told by the skipper where to cast that crab. Here we go.
Reel in, guys, reel in real quick. Get another cast here. See him straight behind the boat, man? Yeah, I got him, man. Going to the right, you're going back. Just lead him, get in front of him. Stop right there. Good, throw out into him. Like, stop it, man. You gotta eat that. We're looking at it, man. I don't know if you got the bite or not. If you feel anything, reel. I think you just got the bite. Reel. Reel. Jab. Turn it on. Alright, get ready, Sid. You'll probably get next. Alright, Sid, reel yours up. Turn it on. Hey, Graham, I'm gonna dead bird him, alright, buddy? Yeah. Like that. Just play him for, a little while. Easy, Sid. Direct around him. Couple of more. Might be over him, Sid. Okay, Sid. Good. That was a nice cast, Graham. That was a beautiful cast.
The drags are set pretty strong, Graham. Okay. It's the cutting up on the bottom that worries me.
Yeah. That's why the harder you pull on them, the harder they'll fight you.
Really?
It's better not to put maximum drag on them. Now we'll get another shot here.
You know what I do here is
I'm gonna move in closer, Hutch.
I just take this one and put.
Well, you can see this is a really good fish now, and weighed 30 pounds. So an enormous permit for me, my first fish, 30-pound permit. And round snub nose, strange looking fish, extremely powerful, super fighter, very, very dogged, you know. And look at them, you know, just the sheen of it, immaculate quality. These fish aren't killed, they're all put back. They're an IGFA game fish. A superb fighter, so Jay's just going to return this one for us. Slip it back, and that's my first permit. It's a big one. And just across here is another guy hooked up, another Bud and Mary's base boat, the Something Special. And they got one of their clients hooked up to a big permit as well. This looks a nice looking fish as well. I think they're all pretty good size. He's certainly got some pressure on there. Well, Sid's got herself hooked up to a big fish, and he's drifted us way back off in the current. We're going off the edge of the blue water, back up on the reef. And I have to tell you, I was running out of battery time on the camera, and I was running out of tape. Didn't envisage shooting quite so much. I hate to tell Skip I didn't think I was ever going to catch a permit, but at short notice we got one, a super fish. Followed up by this one. We've seen several caught. And look at this fish, beautiful. It took 25 minutes to 45 minutes to beat this fish. Well, I have to tell you, they put these fish back so fast that I didn't get a chance to get any more video on that. But you can see from this still we got, Sid got an absolutely blinding permit there, 36 pounds, her first fish. So we didn't do too bad between us. Her first one's 36 and my first one's 30. And here we go again, another permit on.
Beautiful. Big smile at the top. Get behind the fish, don't step on the rod. Hold up here. Give us a wave. Hold him, John, I want you to release him. Okay. And take him over here and let him go nice and easy. Throw him out there a little ways.
So there you have it, a brief insight into permit fishing from the Florida Keys. If you get the chance, do it. They are one tough fish.